What should you not do when getting motivated sellers? I'm going to show you the most common mistakes that are made and show you how you can get motivated sellers on autopilot at a really cheap cost. My name is Dawson Skorcheski. My real estate on wholesaling and flipping operation does around $750,000 per year. We're doing around 90 deals in the last year, spending only $3,000 a month. I want to show you this info and really high value info so that way my SEO agency specifically for real estate investors can use you when you start getting consistent deal flow. This way you can be a client for us so that motivated sellers can find you on Google. Please like the video to show you're ready to get more motivated sellers. The first thing on what not to do when getting motivated sellers is not spending your time and your money on the right things. And the first thing I want to say is if you're a beginner, do not waste your time on finding any buyers at all. The power of making money is in marketing and sales. The only thing you need to do in this business is find a good deal. I am 100% certain without a doubt that if you find an actual good deal, the buyers will come out of the woodworks and naturally find you. You might want to find a deal first anyways when working with really good buyers because they don't want to work with any wholesalers who don't find any deals anyways. And you don't even need to know how to work paperwork at first just because the way I did it is I used a JV partner right away, so you can definitely do the same thing. Now in this business, the leverage is in the leads. The reason that flippers even buy from wholesalers in the first place is because they have leads, they have lead flow, and that's where the leverage comes from, hence on how you get paid in an assignment fee. Now, if you want to be in business for a long time in this industry, you got to get a consistent deal flow. And your assignments and your flip profits are solely based on the leverage that you have, hence finding the deals that no one else is finding. Now to add on to this, as far as spending your time in the right places and your money in the right places, you need to decide what you have more. Do you have more time or do you have more money? And that's going to dictate where you're going to spend your money and your time at each day. Now, there's two sides to this. So if you have more time, you're going to want to do more outreach, more cold calling, more cold texting, things like that. Now, if you have more money, that's when you can spend more on inbound lead marketing channels and other sexy things like that. So to start with, you having a lot of time on your hands, a lot of outbound is where you're going to kind of want to go with all this. Now, when you have a lot of time on your hands, that doesn't mean that you have all the time in the world to spend on calling just a blanket list of people. Now, if you're gonna do blanket calling in your city like I did at the beginning, I would recommend using an automatic dialer without a doubt to start. Now, as you go on with blanket dialing, you can start to use VAs as well to maybe delegate the task of calling so much. Now, but what I recommend is if you have a lot of time on your hands, it's just you by yourself, I would definitely recommend niche list calling. And now what I mean by niche list calling is I'm talking pre-foreclosures, probates, and other very, very niche things like that. Now, in niche list calling, usually what you need to do is find the best data to get that information. Usually the hardest information or data to retrieve for these lists is going to be the best. I recommend going straight to the source. The harder it is to get, the better it's going to be. And these are where we've gotten a lot of deals even today with this method. Now, this is if you have more money and you want to spend more money on getting inbound leads instead of doing so much outreach because you have more money than time right now. Now, this is where you need to decide where your money is going to get the highest return on ad spend, or what we call ROAS. Now, there's many ways to get motivated sellers inbound, but some are way more expensive than others. Now, here's examples of very typical expensive ways to get leads. You're talking pay-per-lead, Google pay-per-click, as well as direct mail. Now, better ways to get inbound leads for high ROAS, return on ad spend, is going to be organic SEO and bandit signs. Now, the second biggest mistake that I see and the thing not to do when chasing motivated sellers is chasing bad prospects. Now, specifically when I mean chasing bad prospects, I'm talking people on for sale by owner and also the MLS. Now, the reason this does not work very well is because everybody can see it, so there's absolutely no leverage to make any money on these deals. Now, to be fair, we have done MLS deals. There has been a FSBO or two in my career, but the odds of that happening are so little it's not worth your time. The only way you can get leverage is getting leads that no one else knows about, right? So I think I see too many people who are doing this and it's not getting them anywhere. Now, you want to target people who no one else knows about. And the way to do that in the first way is by doing outreach. Now, I know we talked about outreach a little bit before, but the best way is calling pre-foreclosure pre-lists, probate lists, as well as driving for dollars lists. And these are niche lists in your city. And also the best way is to get absentee owners. Now, what I mean by absentee owners, they could be landlords or they could have just inherited the property, but specifically people who don't live in that town. It's usually pretty harder when you're dealing with absentee owners that live in that area. Sometimes you can get lucky, but on outreach, it's more likely you're gonna get a hit by somebody who doesn't live in that area. Now, the third thing not to do is spend too much money on inbound leads. If you have more time than money, you shouldn't be buying inbound leads to begin with anyways. It's the worst decision you can make in this industry because you're you're losing money and you're constantly having to feed it. You have to conserve the money that you have when you're starting out in this business, so you're gonna get more value by pulling lists straight from the source and outreaching to them when you have more time than money. Now, there's very cost-effective ways where you can get inbound leads. And keep in mind, you have to be ready for them. You have to be getting consistent deal flow. Now, the first way is gonna be bandit signs. This may seem very beginner, this may seem beginner-esque, but we in my company put bandit signs in all of the front yards of all of our wholesale and flip deals, and it kills it. This year, it's probably gonna do close to 10 deals a year from this. And it's just big, bright and yellow sign that says, I buy houses with your phone number. Make it plain, bright, and ugly, and people will call them. And keep in mind, we do this for all of our wholesale deals and flips. We don't really stick them on street corners or anything like that. When you're getting consistent deal flow, the next thing is without a doubt to be putting bandit signs in all those deals. Now, the last one here is gonna be organic SEO. And personally, it's my favorite way to get motivated sellers because sellers are finding you on Google for pennies on the dollar. Now, it costs me about $100 a month to have my website rank at the top, and it's probably gonna do 25% of our revenue this year. Now, basically how it works is you have to get your website ranked at the top. Now, that's the hard part about this marketing channel. Now, that's where we come in as far as house flip SEO, where we can do that for you. Now, why would you choose SEO over doing pay-per-lead, Google pay-per-click, or direct mail? Basically, the difference is that direct mail, pay-per-lead, and Google pay-per-click are going to be way more expensive than building a website yourself and getting leads for less than $50 a lead. Now, with pay-per-lead, direct mail, and you're talking, anywhere from $500 to $1,000 to $2,000 per lead on those, hoping to close maybe 1 in 10 if you're lucky. Now, with organic SEO, you can close up to 1 in 2 leads for $50 a lead. I mean, you can't beat that. And keep in mind, when I say $50 a lead, this is the cost of it has per month on your marketing budget while also being able to crush the real estate link. Now, if you're interested in maybe having motivated sellers find you on Google, feel free to hit the link below. But otherwise, I appreciate you guys hopping on this video. If you have any questions, feel free to comment or shoot me a DM. I'd be happy to chat. But hopefully you get more motivated sellers out there.